In this video, I'm going to show you how to put together the Presents Spinner Easel card. So it's an easel card and a spinner card at the same time. I just wanted to give it a try, so why not try them together? So as an example, here's one of the cards I did already. So I'm going to just put it over the top of this. When you open it, first of all, you want to, with the spinner card, you can twist it before you put it in the envelope. So you put it in the envelope twisted. So as you twist that little twine piece, and then when you open it, it flips around. And then of course an easel card sits upright. So you can see right through it. But that's how it is. So it's an easel card. I was going to do a different kind of easel card, but I decided why not try this. So when you have it down here, you see that can sit up like that when it's open. And we have that underneath. So you can kind of see that underneath. I didn't center it, but we'll do our best to center the other one. Or you can go up higher, but you kind of want to go either, you can go a little higher for a easel card, because this is what holds it up. So that's up to you. But if you keep it the solid color, it doesn't look bad. Again, I didn't center this one. So let's just move along then. And you can see that for that one, I used a pen to write the Merry Christmas, which this is included with the file, but you could ungroup it and get rid of the Merry Christmas and add your own sentiment, or you could just write on it. That's up to you. So let's go ahead and put that aside. So the first thing I would do is, these are all the little pieces. We're just going to put these aside for now. I'm going to put the, we're going to put together the bows and the presents. So we don't want to put together, we're only going to do each side. The presents match back to back, and they'll have the twine in between. You'll need about a 4-inch. This is a little longer than you need, so I have a lot of twine, so I just cut off a piece to use to create to attach it so it spins. And then this is the bow for the inside, so we'll just glue that together. So if you wanted a more dimensional look too, you could ink the edges. I'm not going to do it on this card, but the layered effect gives it a 3D effect. So that's the little, make sure you put it on right. I put it the wrong way. It's not square in the middle, so that's the thing that's going to pop up to hold the easel in place. Then these just go like this. So I'm just going to make sure I have the textured side up. And I am using art glitter glue in this fine tip applicator. So the best thing, the way I found to put this on, is kind of hold that, match it up at the top, and then just down the middle. So this is one of, as of this video, I also did another spinner card at the same time, but that one was not an easel card. You know, if I'm going to do it, I might as well combine two card types, right? What's nice about this one is that you can use it for Christmas. That's why I really didn't call it Christmas present. You could use this as a birthday card too. Make sure glue's on my fingertip here. And then we'll just add these little top parts. So I'm so messy with glue. So this is just easy to put them together before we attach it to the card. So we have those, and they're just going to go back to back. So when it spins, you'll see it on both sides. we're going to take this piece. So this is how it's going to go on the front. We're actually going to attach the twine underneath this piece, and then it'll come down and go underneath that piece. So we're going to attach it to this larger panel. And we're going to do it right on the front because that frame will cover where the adhesive is. So for this, I want to use this score tape, which is double-sided tape that's pretty strong. I have to cut it because normally you can tear it, but I folded it over by accident. Okay, so now that we've got a good edge, I'm just going to tear some pieces. This is going to help me put the twine in place. So we're just going to add a couple little pieces down here. When it comes to putting the frame on, we'll actually put glue on that, or I will. I mean, you can still use score tape. So I'm just eyeballing this, knowing that it's not going to show. I got too close to the side for this one. So that might show unless I put that at the top bottom. So you could go a little bit further up, but what we'll do is just rotate this so it covers it. So don't go to the edge. So mine's a little bit too close to the edge. The other thing, I'm going to make it work. And just kind of roll it up a little bit. So it's a little bit away from the edge. So let's do that one piece here. So we don't do the same exact thing as the bottom. We're just going to overlap it and not quite to the edge. So we don't want to put anything on it right now. We just want to now focus on the presents. So it's going to go like that. So we're going to add a little bit of score tape to the middle of the present. Again, I'm just eyeballing what the center is. What helps with the present is that you have that little top that tells you it's close to the center, visually at least. So I'm just going to place it where I want it. So I'm going to put it sideways so I can maneuver a little bit better. So you can see it's centered in that circle. And this doesn't have to be perfect, we just need the space. So I'm going to put it on that first. Let me do it here so I don't get it on the other ones. And you could put tape on the top too if you, we'll just do that right now to keep it in place. I won't take the backing off quite yet. You can go back and forth too. It might be easier for you. Went a little bit long on that one. Cut that off. I'm just doing so I don't get, my fingers don't get stuck on it. And I'm going to find out where the center is before I put that down. I'm just going to stretch it taut, and I'm eyeballing it. This is not, there's no, so you can see it's centered, and we're going to add the front part. Take that piece off. So just be careful around little sticky parts for now. I'm going to add a little glue around the edges of this. And since the middle, if you do a little thicker twine, the middle might kind of pop up the sides a little bit. So it just depends on what you use. I did use print and cut on this to create this pattern paper. And I suppose it would have been a good idea to do the same thing I did on the present. Just trying to find the edge of this. We'll just do that really quick. Put a little piece of tape over here. Not close to the top and bottom edge, remember. Even though I've already done that in the bottom. So it's just another layer holding it on. And then we'll add the frame. The reason I don't use score tape that much is just because I have no nails. So the frame, we don't add it quite yet. I'm just kind of getting it in place, making sure I can still kind of pull it a little bit. It doesn't have to be really tight. You just don't want it kind of sagging anywhere. So we have to clip this off, so I'm going to use this. This is a sharper pair of scissors. My little pair of scissors needs to be sharpened. So we don't want that showing. And if you want to, after you kind of cut it, I kind of curl it downward a little bit. This is like American Craft twine. It's kind of fuzzy twine. But that'll be hidden with this. So now we're just going to go ahead and add this. And that middle cutout will match with the cutout on the panel. So I'm going to situate it. You could be situated anyway, but because I went too close on the bottom, I'm going to situate it towards the bottom there. Which makes it go down just a little bit, but it's okay. It'll still be clearance. There's a little hump, so it's probably more than, now not 4.25, it's probably 4.27 thickness. You see it's not perfectly centered, and that's okay. It's just the effect of this card. So now we have this. What's going to happen is it's going to go on like this. And yes, this is going to go below a little bit. Normally you could just put the little opening, but it shouldn't cause it too many issues. They're actually pretty good with that. But what we need to do before we add that is this inside piece. So what I thought was challenging with the to combine a spinner and an easel card is that you kind of have to have it open, so when it sits down you're going to see the mechanism to hold the card up. So that, which is this. So with this, with the previous card I showed you, it came with Merry Christmas, but what I did was I removed that sentiment and used my die cutting machine to curve a sentiment in the bottom. So we're going to center this on this. So you just eyeball it. Say it a lot, huh? So we're just going to center this however you want to. This was just a printable paper that I used. If you haven't used digital papers, it really opens it up. It's just that you have to spend money more on printer ink. Don't ask me for suggestions on printers because I'm not really happy with mine. I'm sure there's others out there that could tell you. I do want another printer, but I can't justify getting another one, so not at this point. So right now that's going to be centered in here. So what I did and what helped for me is first I'm kind of centering it like that with my fingers. But I want to make sure that also the wishing you the best down there this holiday season is kind of centered the way I want when you open it. And you can put it on the top too. There is a curving feature, text curving feature in, I'm just turning it just a little bit more, in Cricut, and so Cricut Design Space now, where you can just curve it to a like a circular. So I'm just going to do it right there. And you can do this also with most other software. Cuts a lot does it. Silhouette Studio, you can do it. So it's most of the majors. I'm not sure about Scan and Cut and Puzzles. I don't use that, or some of the other machines, but I do know some of the main software do. So once you get it in there, so you can see that it says I have it, so it's situated where I want it when they open it. I'm going to hold it in place and flip it over. I'm going to carefully lift that back part. I'm going to add glue to this without moving it. So just carefully, you don't need much. I'm going to fold it back over so it's in place where I want it on the front. So now, when they open it, whether they know how to do the whole easel thing, but when they open it, they'll see that. So that's how you do it. But we still need this one little mechanism in there. So I have a little bit of foam tape here to pop it up. So I use Scotch foam tape. I had this already pre-cut. Take off the backing. So you could put this on first if you wanted to use that to help you. So we'll just do that really quick before we put that final piece. So we're going to just glue it. So with the easel card, you only glue the bottom half. So you see it's just going to go up like that. So we're only going to glue to this part. So you could use, you wouldn't do it like that because you don't want to glue on your inside. You could use actually something like score tape or glue. And actually, I think I'll use a different, just an adhesive runner for this. So this is a Xyron Teresa Collins Mega Runner. I've had it for a while. I really only use it on cards, so if you watch my videos and do the 3D items, I use a couple things like this. This is one of them. And then the only reason I do that because usually with these it's pretty instantaneous once you attach it. And I like a little give with my projects usually, so I can move things around. So the drawback for me, at least for using this kind of adhesive things, is that, oops, first of all, I put too much adhesive on the side there. So here's a nice little thing, a little eraser. Adhesive eraser. So you don't want to glue too close to the edge because I have an edge on it. Okay, we got that off. So we go ahead and we're going to center it. But you can't really get it, once you get it down, it's stuck. So I'm kind of getting it lined up with that circle. At least I'm trying. Okay. So we got it down, so it's only glued on this side. So now we're going to add this little piece to put it down there. So what you could do is just put it down like that, and we'll get a little, I'm just using my pen, you probably should use a pencil, but what I'm going to do is figure out where I want it. So I would suggest a pencil, so let me go get a pencil. So being that I decided to do this live, not live, but, so I'm just going to put a pencil where I want it. So realize it's going to show through. So if you wanted it up there, you could do it behind there. So when I put, so what we can do is see how far it goes back when I do that. So if I put it there, the easel will be that far. I don't know if you can see that. So if you want it to be like far, but with the easel card, I would say something like this. So I want it, it's going to show, like I said, it's going to show on either side. So I'm going to put a little pencil mark and pencil mark so I can do equidistance. The thing with the solid color, at least, it's not as noticeable in the background. And you can do whatever you want, really. So I'm going to just put it, I'm finding the pencil marks and I'm just centering it across those. So now when you open it, so I did a little higher than I did the last card. I showed you the very first card, but then it closes. So before you put it in an envelope, which is just an A2 envelope, we do have a free envelope, A2 envelope SVG file if you need it. But you want to kind of spin it before you put it in the card. And then when they open it up, it does that, and then they can also display it. So it just depends on the twine, how it twists. So they can always straighten it out. So let me get it at an angle so you can see it better. So that's the spinner easel card, which is the presents, and you could use it for Christmas or for a birthday. That's one of the reasons I went with the presents theme. So I hope that some find this fun and useful to make for a couple cards. And I thank you so much for watching. And oh, lastly, if you do like my projects or my freebies, because I do get a lot of freebies out there, I would appreciate a like or a subscribe. It is helpful for me and to get my files out there, because a lot of people don't know I exist. So I thank you so much, and until next time.